Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Purple Podcast, the first one of 2024.
Woo!
The first one in a while, actually.
Yeah, it has been a minute.
It's been a minute. So we usually start this podcast out with small talk.
We can.
I mean,
Wanted to.
do we do that sometimes? It's been so long since we recorded one. I don't really remember how we structure these.
Honestly, just like having a little bit of small talk before we get into the main thing sounds kind of nice. You know, let's us catch up with each other, which we do already because we see.
We were literally just talking before. We just filmed. We recorded a bunch of PurpleCoin Plus before doing this. We're back on PurpleCoin Plus. If you missed it, we are uploading videos on there again. We're finishing up our. Is this our third series since we got back on?
It's like a number.
Since we started back?
Yeah.
What was the first series we came back with?
You were asking me too many questions.
Okay. We did our Pokemon Nuzlocke. I feel like we did one before that.
We did do that, which was fun.
And then we just wrapped up Mario vs. Donkey Kong. We're getting ready to start our next one.
No, that's it. It was Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Pokemon Emerald Nuzlocke. That's it.
Oh, really? Wow.
The thing before that was Mario Wonder 2 months ago.
Wow.
3 months ago.
Really?
It says 3 months ago, but whenever we first started doing Mario vs. Donkey Kong, it was probably like 2 months ago.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, we just wrapped up the finale of Mario vs. Donkey Kong. And at this point, we're getting ready to start another one. It's a Spyro game. That's all I'll say. But yeah, we're uploading on there again. We've got a project in the work for PurpleCoin Entertainment. It's gonna be different from everything else. I'm really excited to get it done, but it's got a big script.
It's got
a big script, and we're not quite done with the script as of this recording. So once that's finalized, the video will start moving, and then
it'll come out this month.
Then hopefully, maybe after that, we keep posting things on entertainment because I've got ideas.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's that. As for me, I am still in Kentucky. I didn't think I'd be here.
That's where we're going with this now?
I didn't think I'd be here in 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Aren't you glad you did?
There's a few reasons I am.
Yeah.
There's a few reasons I am, but...
That's fair.
I'm supposed to be where the water is, and this is not the water. There's no water here. There's lakes.
There's lakes. That's water.
They're not good lakes.
But it's water.
It's water!
We have a river. Right downtown.
That's a bad river.
It's a terrible river. Don't ever get in that river.
No. Ew.
Awful. Terrible. No good. Bad.
And I'm getting married. I made that announcement on Instagram and Twitter. That's it. And Facebook. Don't follow me on Facebook. I don't use Facebook.
Everybody say congrats.
The only reason I posted on Facebook is because I was like, hey, there's people that know me there that would probably like to know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
Doing that next year.
Next year, yeah. I'll still be in Kentucky. Cool. Woo. Remember that one time we talked about moving to California?
Yeah, sure do.
Wow.
What a wacky and wild time that was.
Yeah.
We would have died.
We would have died.
There's no way.
It's so expensive out there. So I went to California recently.
Mm-hmm.
The weather was not what I expected. It's kind of chilly. I went in February, so like...
Makes sense.
But I don't know. I guess I always kind of thought that coast was warm. Or it's like supposed to be warm. It was windy. There were really bad storms. It flooded. Trees fell.
Bad experience.
I was there. It was really bad. Yeah, those floods hit LA, and I was like an hour away from that. So I wasn't in the flood zone. Oh no, I was pretty close to the flood zone because they evacuated the city next to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was in. I don't remember where I was in.
Okay.
I don't know why I just lost the word. I was in Monterey. And they evacuated the city next door, which was called. Yeah. It was a place, and they evacuated it.
Cool place name.
And my hotel didn't have power on the first night, so they sent me to another one. In Seaside. I went to Seaside. Yeah.
I've heard that's a nice kingdom.
Are you talking like Mario?
Like Mario Odyssey. Get it.
It was good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Speaking of video games.
Nice segue, dude.
Thanks.
Nice.
I totally planned that.
Yes, nice segue.
So, recently, who did this?
GameStop. GameInformer.
GameInformer did their greatest games of all time tournament bracket.
You'll never believe who won. You will believe who won.
Yeah, people talk about this game, say it's the greatest game of all time already.
We already played it and said it was the greatest game of all time already. We had a whole conversation about this at the end of the series, remember?
Yeah.
We were like, this is the best game ever!
Nope. That's not how that conversation went.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, it got reviewed as the best game ever.
Yeah.
Friggin' 99 on Metacritic.
Insane.
98?
Big number.
It's a big number.
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Who would have guessed it? I tell you what, I probably would have. If you'd asked me, I probably would have said, oh, well, they probably voted The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I probably wouldn't have told you that was my favorite of all time, but I would have been like,
oh, yeah.
If someone asked me, like, people on the internet are going to vote for the best game ever, what do you think they're going to vote? I would say Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Okay, what would your second pick be?
Elden Ring?
Really?
It just seems really, really popular.
I mean...
Like, it seems really, really
good
popular.
Game. Very enjoyable game.
I didn't even play it.
That's not the one I would have said. I probably would have said, like, Elder Scrolls.
Oh, Skyrim? Like Skyrim, yeah. I think Skyrim's pretty high up there, too, right?
Baldur's Gate, I also think...
Is there a tie for third? Why does it say 3 and there's no 2s?
We'll get there.
Why does it look like that?
I don't know. We'll get there.
Well, yeah, Baldur's Gate 3.
I would have said that was probably a great contender.
Isn't it in here and gets like knocked out in round 1? Which is bonkers, by the way, if that's the
case.
It
is in here. It did not get knocked out in round 1. It got really far.
Oh, really? Oh, it did. It did get pretty far. Wow! It got like knocked out by Ocarina of Time. Yeah, so if you're listening to this on like on Spotify or something, you probably won't be able to see this, but I'll probably have the image on screen so you can see. It's huge, so it's probably not going to look very good.
Oh, yeah, you won't be able to
even if you are looking at it. But, we'll break it down for you a little bit. I do want to say, I want to comment on a few of these games. Some I have not played. Some I have.
We'll just start making our way down the list.
Sure.
Start talking about it.
Oh, yeah, we should sort of just, like, go from top to bottom about both sides. Talk about the games a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
That's how we didn't plan this podcast very far. We were just like, hey, we should talk about the results of this. So here we are. So let's start with number 1, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Have you played Witcher 3?
I have not. I have heard so many good things about it, though. And a lot of also not so good things about it. But for the most part, it's been positive.
It's a nice world. I like the world. I like the concept.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the combat. I don't really like the mechanics as a whole.
Okay,
the characters are neat.
Stop moving on for you.
Characters are neat. The world, like I said, the world's super neat. Well, versus Silent Hill 2, which I've never played, which is how it is. I probably would put Witcher 3 against it just because I haven't played Silent Hill 2. I've never played a Silent Hill game. No. I almost played the new one, the one that's like a quick narrow passage. Is that what it's called?
Something like that.
Yeah, I almost played that. I didn't, but I almost played it. So I can't talk about Silent Hill 2, unfortunately.
For some reason, I'm thinking that people said Silent Hill 2 was not great.
I thought that was like the best one.
Was it? I thought they liked the first one more. I could be wrong.
I don't know. Like
Sorry if I'm wrong.
Unfortunately, I've never played any of them, and I really should because I actually have the consoles that they're on. I've got consoles that some of them are on. I think you can play them all on PS5 now.
One of them's getting a remake.
Yeah. The first one, I think.
Yeah. People did not like the way it looked.
Yeah, because it doesn't look like the first one.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like a reboot, remake kind of thing.
Kind of.
I think so.
So, I can't really say much. I think I would probably...
So Witcher just has to move on by default.
Yeah, I think I would have.
Then, this one is so easy for me. It's Halo Combat Evolved, which is... It has not aged well, I'll be honest. I played all 4 of the original Halo games. People hate Halo 4. I love Halo 4, I'm sorry. I love Halo 4. I love Halo 3. I don't care about the first 2. I especially don't like the first one very much anymore, which is the one on here, Halo Combat Evolved. Mid. Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, my favorite 3D Zelda. I freaking love that game. It moves on so easy for me.
I agree.
It moves on so easy for me. And if I were to like go ahead and move on, like past that, I would say Wind Waker, past The Witcher, and then Wind Waker, past Mass Effect 2, but I've got to talk about that too. So, the next one is Final Fantasy 6.
And Spider-Man.
And Marvel's PS4 Spider-Man. That is also super easy for me. Having played like 20 minutes of Final Fantasy 6 and played 2 of the 3 Spider-Man games, which, I mean, we're only talking about the first one, which is objectively the best
one.
I haven't played 2 yet, so
okay.
I don't know how... There's a lot of mixed reviews on 2, mostly because of the Mary Jane sections.
People complained about that in the first game too, so...
But they were a lot shorter in the first game.
I still think it beats Final Fantasy 6, right?
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. That's a good freaking game. Let me just check. That's Marvel Spider-Man for the PS4, PS5, whatever console it's on now. It's good. Very good. Mass Effect 2 versus Doom 2016. That's hard for me. actually. So I have played Mass Effect.
Uh-huh.
I've not played Mass Effect 2.
Okay.
I don't remember a whole lot about Mass Effect. Have you ever played either of them?
Any
of them? No. It was fun. I remember it was fun.
Again, that's a series I've heard a lot about that a lot of people love.
Oh gosh. I quit. I literally quit because like I played it right around the time that Andromeda came out. I think after 3. And everyone hated 3 so bad that I couldn't convince myself to play any more of the series.
Oh.
And people didn't like Andromeda either.
Yeah.
And like I just remember hearing so many bad things. I couldn't convince myself to keep going. I don't think I finished the first Mass Effect. I might have. I don't remember. It's been a while, but I think I've seen the ending. But I probably watched that on YouTube. So
yeah, it works.
Mass Effect 2, it has to lose to Doom for me because I've played and replayed Doom. This is 2016, not the like Super Nintendo PC version, whatever.
Yeah.
The one that's on everything. Yeah, it's not that one, which I would probably leave behind. But Doom 2016, I've played that game twice all the way through. And did that one have DLC? If it had DLC, I played it.
Did it have DLC?
I know that Eternal did. I don't remember if the first did. I think it didn't, actually.
I don't think so.
But I did play the game twice, all the way through. It's fun. It's just a good time. Have you played either of them either?
Yeah.
Yeah?
We
played we played a little bit of Eternal for like a brief video on Plus. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. Ooh, this is spicy. Red Dead Redemption 2 and Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
Dude, people love Red Dead Redemption 2.
They do.
It's fun. It beats Red Dead Redemption 1 for me. I've played both of them now. And 2 is way better.
Yeah.
2 is way better than 1.
This doesn't surprise me that it won over Castlevania.
But Symphony of the Night, man. It's a fun game.
Yeah. But, I mean, is it better than Red Dead 2?
Is it better? Probably not. Is it more... Which one would I pick? I'd play Symphony of the Night. If I had to play one of those again, I'd play Symphony of the Night.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Like, if somebody was like, hey, I want you to play one of these games so I can see what they look like, I'd say, put in Castlevania.
That's fair. It's a lot faster.
That's true too, yeah.
I think that's why I might...
Well, see, Red Dead 2 is faster than Red Dead 1. If you want to like put that, like it throws you into combat like at the beginning of the game, and you blam some guys, and then long walkie-talkie. But
after that,
that's the thing about a lot of like modern AAA games and stuff. Though it's like it's the Last of Us effect, where they're like it's just a big cutscene, and every now and then you play a video game for a few minutes. Yeah. Yeah,
that's time for another time.
You hold forward. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because I almost spiraled a little.
I could tell.
Yeah, you can see it coming. But so in this case, I would pick Symphony of the Night.
Sure.
Shadow of the Colossus and World of Warcraft. I have spent maybe 15 minutes with World of Warcraft.
Here's the thing.
I don't know anything about it.
You get so much out of WoW.
Is that an MMO?
It's an MMO.
Or is it like one of those like Pokemon Unite?
It's like Final Fantasy 14.
Okay. Which I have played.
Yeah. So you have some sort of reference kind of for what it's like.
So what's the League of Legends? Is that the one that's like Pokemon Unite?
Yes.
What do they call those?
MOBAs.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. So so I think I'm wrong. I think I played League of Legends and not World of Warcraft.
Okay.
I'm just getting names mixed up. So I've never played this.
Okay. Think Final Fantasy 14 without Final Fantasy.
Ew. No, I'm kidding. It's always looked interesting to me.
Yeah.
I've played Shadow of the Colossus. I got bored.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest. I think that this game on its own is inconsequential. Like these two, to me at least, they're inconsequential because I got bored playing Shadow of the Colossus. I have not played World of Warcraft. I think I might like World of Warcraft, but I don't know if I would like it enough to move it on. Ooh,
I would say Shadow of the Colossus would move forward. WoW has so much that you can do, and that's awesome and cool and good. But I think the story in Shadow of the Colossus is better.
That's fine. I'm okay with this. Ooh, Oh, that's hard. No.
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Kingdom Hearts 2 and Super Mario 64. Oh, no.
Kingdom Hearts 2.
You have never played Kingdom Hearts 2.
I haven't.
You don't
but
know
I've
the
played
struggles.
Super Mario 64, and I don't care for it.
You don't. I love Mario 64.
I do not care.
Oh my god. I've played them both all the way through. Oh, I've played them both all the way through.
I've played Kingdom Hearts games. I know it's not the same.
2 is different.
I know, it's better. It's apparently the best one.
It's so good. Can I actually say this? Can I do this? So Mario 64 wins in the bracket here.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right.
I know I'm right.
I think Kingdom Hearts 2 would move on. That hurts me a little to say. Oh gosh, this next one. Last of Us Part 2 and Metroid Prime. And Metroid Prime moved on. That's hilarious to me. Which I played Metroid Prime for the first time on the Switch release last year. Wow, I cannot believe that's been a year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And well, I played it through the first time because I have the GameCube version. I've played it a few times and I never got off the you don't leave the planet. But I never got past the second area. Metroid Prime 1, and I mean I would move it on because I don't like The Last of Us. I mean I was just about to complain about The Last of Us a minute ago, so I'm in the weird minority of the world apparently because I don't like the first one very much.
I think if The Last of Us 2, like the ending was better, I think people would have liked it more.
I'll be completely honest, I don't even know what happens in the second one. I know a few things that happen, but I don't know anything else about that. And
also, it
just doesn't matter to me because I just don't like the game.
Yeah, I do also think that people were just kind of being what's a good word I could say here? Entitled, maybe. I don't know if that's the right word. That's probably not the right word.
Are you trying to call people bigots? You can say bigot on this podcast.
I guess. Yeah. Their reactions to certain characters, which were just not necessary.
Oh no, this is hilarious. So, Ocarina of Time is up against Call of Duty 4, which Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
I love Modern Warfare. I also love Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time wins.
I love Ocarina of Time. If that was Modern Warfare 2, I am so serious, Modern Warfare 2 would move on.
No way.
I am so serious.
There's no way.
I am so serious. Not the Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare, not the modern version of Modern Warfare 2, the original Modern Warfare 2 on the Xbox 360 or PS3, whichever version you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
It might move on past
You're
Ocarina
crazy.
for me. I am so serious.
Crazy?
I freaking love that game. Halo 3 and Grand Theft Auto 5. That's tough for me.
Grand Theft Auto.
I could do it. I could say that Grand Theft Auto should move on.
I don't really have much to say about that.
I don't either.
I'm just kind of like...
Well,
Yeah.
Halo 3 is way better than Halo 1. Halo 3 is way better than Halo 1.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5 is like the new standard for open world sims like that. So
it was massive.
Yeah. Oh, Resident Evil 4 and like Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Pac-Man, like arcade Pac-Man. Dude.
Yeah, I mean,
it's Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
We played it on the channel too.
We did. Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 is just that game, man.
Yeah, it definitely moves on.
Oh, God of War 2018 and Uncharted 4. Ooh. I like both of these.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't finish God of War 2018. I played it. It was all right. I'm gonna get flamed for saying that.
You are.
I had some fun, and then I stopped having fun, so I stopped playing it. And some people are mixed about Uncharted 4, but I love the entire Uncharted franchise. I've played all of them.
Mm-hmm.
4 is my favorite.
Was Timothy the one who said he tried to play it and just was like, could not get into it?
Maybe. Well, it's kind of... So, Uncharted 4 does kind of suffer from that Last of Us effect I was talking about earlier, where it is a lot of walking and talking. But the action sequences are just so good. They're so good. And the stealth sequences are really good. It's really fun. It's also made by Naughty Dog. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But the first three, especially. The first three are really good. But I actually really love Uncharted 4.
So you'd be moving...
It would move on for me. God of War won on this bracket, but it would move on for me. But it wouldn't matter because Resident Evil 4 would go on for me anyway. So, Chrono Trigger and League of Legends. So, obviously I was saying I don't like League of Legends.
Yeah.
I haven't played much Chrono Trigger. I have played it. Some.
Like...
It's got art by Akira Toriyama.
Yeah.
So, like... that on its own is enough for me.
It's hard for me to put any sort of game like League above, this is sound weird to say, but like a real game. Which, again, League is a real game.
Ooh.
People play League competitively.
We are
they make
getting
money off of it.
spicy.
It's a real game. I understand that. But something like Chrono Trigger,
Yeah.
which paved the way for...
JRPGs as
Yeah.
a whole, I think you're right. Yeah, definitely.
And people still talk about how good that game is today.
Yeah.
Like, literally yesterday, I think I saw somebody on Twitter who was like, this is probably the perfect game
Wow.
from an non-objective standpoint.
It's got a big twist in the middle and all kinds of...
It's massive.
There's a lot of
And there's
good
just
stuff,
so much
yeah.
crazy stuff that happens and that changes based on things that you do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, insane for its time. And I hope someday it gets a remake, because that would be amazing.
Oh, it deserves one, absolutely.
100%. More people need to play the game.
The next one is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I've never played it, but it looks really fun. And it's so
Animal
good.
Crossing.
It's so good that it's gotten ports over and over again for the last decade.
Mm-hmm.
Or longer. I think it's like 20 years old now, but it's a really good game. And Animal Crossing New Horizons, so the newest version, which people obsessed over during 2020, myself included. I played a lot of it at the beginning of
It was like the only Animal Crossing game I had played. Because everyone was picking it up.
Honestly, I can't pick a winner between the two because I don't really... I loved New Horizons just because I could play it with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never played KOTOR. And I don't think it matters though either way because like it just loses to Chrono Trigger.
It would, yeah.
So moving on. Mario World. I love Super Mario World.
Or Fallout.
And Fallout New Vegas.
Mario.
New Vegas is like the game that changed Fallout.
Yeah.
For people, it's like people love Fallout New Vegas.
I just don't like...
got bored. Tristan, my brother, loves that game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fine. I got bored. I would play Mario World.
Yeah.
Like if I had to play one of them, I would play Mario World.
Look, I just don't like the type of games.
I hate what the next one makes me have to do though. I don't want to pick.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, that one's rough. Ooh, that one's rough.
I have spent a lot of my life playing Super Smash Brothers.
Yep.
Just the game, the franchise.
Yep.
I played Smash 64. That's one. I think that's the first video on this channel, or not on this channel, but on Plus. Is that the first video?
It's one of the first videos.
One of the first videos we played Smash 64.
Yep.
I played a bunch of Melee when
all the time.
I played so much Brawl. Subspace Emissary is peak. I could go on about that, but that's separate too. And then of course, I played Smash 4 with my friends in high school and college, and then Ultimate came out, and like, this game's amazing. Smash Bros. Ultimate is incredible. Huge roster, amazing characters. They kind of brought back the story kind of thing a little bit. Awesome cutscenes. That Sephiroth DLC, just the cutscene introducing him and everything, that still just blows my mind. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
All the hype events for, the new character announcements, just everything around Smash Bros. Ultimate is so exciting and fun and awesome to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's paired against Baldur's Gate 3.
Yep.
It's paired against Baldur's freaking Gate 3.
Mm-hmm.
I never cared for games like Baldur's Gate 3 growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny because I when I played Baldur's Gate 3, I was like, I've played games like this before, and I don't know what they are. Like I could not go back in time and pinpoint the games that I've owned that I swear feel like Baldur's Gate 3, where you make an action and then something else happens on the screen. And like, I specifically have this memory of me doing something in an older game, I think on an Xbox 360, where I like attacked at an enemy and then another enemy on the screen left. Like they exited the battle and they had dialogue. They were saying something as they were leaving, and like a wall collapsed behind them or something, so I couldn't get back to them. And I was so upset because that affected like my run of the game. And I could not tell you what game that is. I have absolutely no idea. But it's just funny because Baldur's Gate makes me like think about that game and how I didn't care about. Like I got mad playing that a long time ago, but I just gave up, stopped caring about it, and pretty much never touched another game like it. Then Baldur's Gate 3 came out in the middle of me being obsessed with Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, it came out
which
at the perfect time.
Is kind of its own thing. We had just started playing Dungeons and Dragons. We'd played for about 6 months by the time, I think, so maybe about half a year by the time Baldur's Gate 3 came out. 4 months. It came out in August or October. It doesn't matter. It's 4 to 6 months. It's in the middle of my big experience with Dungeons and Dragons, which I was loving. And of course, Baldur's Gate 3, it won Game of the Year.
Yeah,
just this past year. It was so good. It's really heavy focused on like your decisions, every single aspect of the game is incredibly refined.
Mm-hmm.
Every single little point, the combat, the abilities, the dialogue.
So much care went into that game.
I know. There's so many endings. There's
There's
different ways to have different
there's different character endings.
Well, that still counts. That still counts to me.
Okay,
because every single version of the playthrough can vary
be very
in
different.
Some way.
Yes,
in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my god, how do I pick that against Smash Bros. Ultimate when I spent so much of my life with especially Ultimate? We were going to tournaments. I was driving for tournaments. I would go to a town an hour away to play. In tournament, I would pay for these tournaments and then still get my butt kicked and then come and do it again a month later.
I'm gonna say this: I would put Baldur's Gate 3 ahead, but Smash Bros. If it was anywhere on this list,
I know
would be
it would move ahead so easily, pretty much against everything else
from yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's just the placement here.
Yeah.
But I think, unfortunately, you're right. I don't know if I want to say unfortunately, because Baldur's Gate 3 is amazing.
It's
I
amazing.
really don't want to downplay
I love that game.
How good Baldur's Gate 3 is. But I also don't want to downplay how
good
incredible Smash Bros. Ultimate has been. It just is. I didn't realize it was like this before.
Okay. So here's a way to look at it. Look at it in like a vacuum.
Uh-huh.
And just go from there. Because you like Smash because of the fact that you were able to go to tournaments, you were able to hang out with your friends and all that stuff.
I also just played the game.
Yeah. Just looking at it as in...
I have...
Playing the game.
400 hours in Smash Ultimate. I have 60 in Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. Well,
of course, Baldur's Gate's newer.
I was going to say, one of those has been out for like 7 years.
Yeah, but I know people... We know someone personally who has probably almost 500 hours in Baldur's Gate 3 already.
Yeah.
You can put that kind of time into it.
You can.
If you wanted to.
I mean, I have probably close to 200 hours.
Bonkers. That's bonkers, man. I would do it. I don't know. It's fine. Rip the Band-Aid off. Just move it on. It's a good single-player and multiplayer game. Mm-hmm. It's both. It's good. That's all I'm going to say. We'll move on. Whew, and we still have a whole other list.
Yeah. Last of Us is Dragon Age.
Dragon Age. I've already made my stance clear. I don't like The Last of Us.
You have. Yeah, you have. Okay, moving on. Super Metroid or Portal 2?
Super Metroid. Portal 2's cool. Listen, I love Portal 2. I have played both of those. Fun games. I love Super Metroid.
Mm-hmm.
I love Super Metroid. Mm-hmm. Even though it's one of the most frustrating games I've ever played.
It's very frustrating.
I'm going to be... Ooh. I'm mad now about Super Metroid. I'm kind of...
Are you sure you're moving it on?
Yeah, I am sure. Okay. I no matter how many times I've gotten mad at Super Metroid, I still pick it up and play it. I still love that game. Portal 2 I played through one time and was like, okay, that was cool. I'll probably never touch this again. Yeah. Bioshock and Minecraft.
They moved Bioshock on, which is wild because I think Minecraft deserved it.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, you're probably not going to agree with this, but I would move on Minecraft.
Minecraft is so huge.
I've just spent so much time playing Minecraft too. Single player, multiplayer, online, whatever. Yeah. Minecraft is a big part of my life, and I won't pretend like it's not.
I'm not a massive Minecraft fan, but I know the impact it has had on gaming as a whole.
Yeah.
And I think it's way bigger than Bioshock.
Okay, cool. Final Fantasy X and Batman Arkham City. So I think we were just talking about Batman last week. Arkham City is one of the best games I've ever played. Arkham City in particular. If this was Asylum, or like... I haven't played Knight. That's the only one I missed. Arkham Knight. Or Arkham Origins.
Ooh, I just looked ahead and I got mad. Anyway,
okay,
continue.
That's fine. Batman Arkham City.
Okay.
Final Fantasy... I can understand that Final Fantasy X is important to like a lot of people. And also to RPGs, it made a big splash. Arkham City moves on in this anyway. It already like got voted ahead.
Yeah.
I think this says the power of Batman Arkham City. It's freaking good. It's freaking good. If we didn't have Arkham City, we wouldn't have Marvel Spider-Man. And if I moved Marvel Spider-Man forward, then Arkham City's moving forward.
I don't think that's exactly how that works, but sure.
It is.
Okay.
I'm going to be completely honest. It totally is.
All
and
right.
I will not take criticism. Thank you.
All right.
Bloodborne and Tetris.
This is one that made me mad.
That's hilarious.
Because Bloodborne is such an amazing game.
Haven't played it.
It's so good.
Tetris moves forward by default.
No.
I've played Tetris.
Bloodborne.
That's fine. I don't care. I don't care about Tetris.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Bloodborne, and I don't care about Tetris. So Bloodborne moves. That's fine. Metal Gear Solid and Street Fighter 2. Oh.
Ooh.
So, which Metal Gear Solid? They didn't put a date on it.
No.
So Metal Gear Solid is an NES game.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 2 is incredible. It's the fighting game that defined fighting games. The amount of time I've spent playing different versions of Street Fighter 2 is actually nuts. I love Street Fighter 2. If this is PS2 Metal Gear Solid, then like maybe. Which is honestly, I'm assuming it probably is PS2 Metal Gear Solid. But it's not like Snake Eater.
I still think Metal Gear would go higher.
It won on the list, but
Look, it wouldn't beat Bloodborne.
You're not much of a fighting game guy though either, are you?
No.
We play Smash a lot, but like that's
Smash.
You don't really play other.
It's like the only fighting game I like.
Yeah.
Which says something about Smash Bros.
Yeah. Again. Yeah. But Street Fighter 2 is in particular. Please.
I mean, if you sure.
I want it to move forward.
That's
It's so
fine.
bad.
Okay.
Metal Gear Solid, like I said, Metal Gear Solid is fine. I've played the Sons of Liberty. I don't remember if I played the original Metal Gear Solid, I'm going to be honest. But I've played Snake Eater and Sons of Liberty, which are like the best ones anyway. Not Metal Gear Solid. People like Metal Gear Solid, but people I love Sons of Liberty and Snake Eater. Yeah. So Street Fighter 2.
We'll move on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fortnite.
Yep.
And Persona 5 Royal. I mean, I know...
And they picked the right option.
Yeah, I know which one you're going for. You will never believe which one I would go for. I'm kidding. I don't care.
Look, here's the thing, though. If somebody wanted to make a claim for Fortnite moving on, I would understand.
Yeah?
It's like the Minecraft experience.
That's fair.
Like, and I get it. I 100% do. But no.
I mean, that's fine.
Not against Persona 5.
That's fair. That's honestly, either one, I could understand moving on, but I don't have enough of a horse in either race, so it's like whatever. I would never touch Persona 5 because of how long, how long the game is, and long. I can't do it.
Yeah.
But I played Fortnite years ago, and even though it's changed so much, and sometimes I'm like, ooh, maybe I should try Fortnite for a minute. I can't get into it. I can't make myself.
Fortnite was fun. I liked it.
Yeah, it's fine.
But
Breath of the Wild versus Mario Galaxy.
Oof.
I like Mario Galaxy.
It's Breath of the Wild.
I love Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Galaxy, great game.
It's
Breath of the Wild, even better.
Yeah. Hey, look, there's Elden Ring.
Hey, I'd put Elden Ring.
Me too.
They did too.
Ooh, San Andreas. That's fine. Hey, there's Metal Gear Solid 3 and Red and Blue.
Oh.
Metal Gear Solid 3. Snake Eater. Snake Eater.
I love Pokemon. Original Red and Blue. It's not it.
Link to the Past versus Hades. Link to the Past moved on in the bracket. I've not played... I don't like roguelikes very much. Hades looks amazing.
It looks amazing.
But it's not Link to the Past.
It's so weird. I'm in an odd space with roguelikes.
Yeah.
Because I'm like... I see them. I want to like them.
Uh-huh. No, I'm there.
I play it, and I'll do like a run or two. I'll die each time. And I'll sit down, and I just won't pick it up again.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, I enjoy it, but it's just getting...
Yeah.
Through it enough. And I'm like, can't do it. So, I guess...
Link to the Past.
Link to the Past.
Let's go. Undertale and Half-Life 2.
Undertale.
Undertale because I haven't played Half-Life. Honestly.
Oh.
Although, like, it looks kind of fun, but it's just, I don't know. I like Undertale a lot.
Undertale was one of those things, again, that was just, like, massive in the gaming sphere.
Yeah, well, so was Half-Life 2, if you think about it.
I know, but...
Like, Gmod exists because of Half-Life 2.
Ooh, you're right.
But, like, if we're talking about, like... We can't just get it based on, like, the credentials of, like... We gotta put our own taste in it, and, like... Yeah, and, like, I don't know enough about Half-Life 2. I've never played a Half-Life game.
Yeah. You played Gmod.
I've played Undertale a little. I actually quit Undertale. I loved Deltarune, though. Still waiting on Chapter 3.
Yeah.
That'll be on this not this channel. I keep
Plus.
forgetting that this isn't Plus.
Nope.
We just haven't done a podcast in a long time. Yeah, it'll be a link in the description. Probably to some of our better series.
I'm sure we may be.
Resident Evil 4 and Ocarina of Time. It'll be in the links in the description.
Skyrim and Destiny. Skyrim.
It's Skyrim. I don't care about Destiny. I played the first one. I got bored.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dude, apparently that's a thing, though. I'm just going to mention this real quick. I just want to say, did Destiny move on? No, Skyrim did. That makes sense. Okay, because they say you hit a point in Destiny where, like, it just becomes so repetitive, and then people only care about, like, meta weapon, because, like, it kind of updates and stuff.
Yep.
And, like, you just have to, like, use meta weapons and stuff, or else, like, people will boot you from your team. Yeah, like, apparently it's really toxic.
Okay.
Like, the online atmosphere.
Really
The characters in Destiny 2 were kind of charming.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it that. And I really could not tell you that there was anybody in Skyrim that I cared about. I could not give you a name of, like, any character except for, like...
What about Lydia?
Nope, don't remember his name. I hate Lydia. We went over this. We streamed Skyrim on my old channel back in college.
Yeah.
We had a whole stream where I was screaming at Lydia.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Lydia. I hate Lydia. Moving on before I get too heated about that.
Fallout 3.
Fallout 3 and Nier. Ooh. It's not Fallout 4, it's Nier.
You're right, it's Fallout 3.
I don't care
Versus
about Fallout
Nier.
3.
You said Fallout 4.
I know, I said it's not Fallout 4, so therefore
Oh,
it's Nier.
okay, I understand. Yeah, it's Nier. Nier moves on.
Ooh, Diablo 2.
Fallout actually moved on from that, which is wild to me.
That is kind of crazy. I thought Nier was bigger.
Diablo
2 versus Mario Bros. 3. Diablo 2 is, like, okay. I'm surprised that Diablo 3 isn't on here.
Yeah.
Because, like, that was the one, right?
Yeah.
That was kind of the one.
Mm-hmm.
I've played Diablo 3.
Mm-hmm.
I have not played the first two Diablo games.
Hmm.
So Mario Bros. By default.
Yeah.
But Mario Bros. 3 is good. Like, I'm going to say, Mario Bros. 3 is still good. Final Fantasy 7 versus Xenoblade Chronicles. Now, are we looking at 7?
This is it does have an R there.
You're right. So we're looking at it strictly as the original versus Xenoblade Chronicles.
I've played through most of the original Final Fantasy. Because I was excited about the new one, so I picked it up. And I've also played through all of Xenoblade and the other games. Xenoblade is better.
I've played both for an equivalent amount of time, I would say, probably about 2 hours. I don't care about either of them. Okay. So I don't care.
I would put Xenoblade past.
That's fine with me. All right, now we got to remember what we put over here.
I was gonna make notes.
Are we gonna like actually rank all these? Because we talked about all the games.
No.
Now that we've talked about all of them, what's your favorite video game? You know, if someone was to ask me what my favorite video game was, I would probably tell them Smash Ultimate. Even though I killed it for Baldur's Gate. I love Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate.
I'm gonna be so real. I love Baldur's Gate 3. I gotta be careful. I don't love Baldur's Gate. I played Baldur's Gate. It sucks. It's one of the worst games I've ever played. I did not play Baldur's Gate 2 because you have to finish Baldur's Gate in order to play 2. So, I mean, you don't have to.
My favorite game
but like, it's
of all
not worth
time,
it.
Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh,
I'm kidding. That was
dude, there's no Sonic games on here.
There's not.
That's blasphemy.
It is kind of wild.
There's not a single one, dude. Sonic 2, Sonic Adventure 1 or 2. Wow,
That's wild.
Sonic Generations, Frontier. That's crazy. I mean, Frontiers would have lost in round 1.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
like, because people are so mixed on it. I love Frontiers.
I don't know. I'm so mixed between a few games. Like,
yeah, no, I get it. It kind of bounces around, and it also depends. It's so hard when we have all these different genres of games up against each other.
That's
too.
also something.
Because like, it's amazing to me that ultimately this starts to boil down to like fantasy RPGs. Mm-hmm. Basically, you know, even if you want to consider Ocarina of Time not an RPG, but like it's still because it isn't. But
the
like,
games
it
that
takes a
got
lot
to
of
the
elements.
semifinals were Red Dead 2.
Okay, which not fantasy.
Ocarina of Time, Last of Us, and Skyrim.
Okay, so if we want to talk about those real quick, I don't know why Red Dead 2 is here. I'm going to be honest. Like, people like it. I know people like it. I don't know what's so good about it that it gets to the top of this tier. Oh, it's just because it doesn't have much competition.
I look back at it.
On those were
really
some of the, like, lower tier. So, in my opinion, if we were to look at this one based on what we moved forward earlier, to me, this comes down to... oh, wow. So, this comes down to Kingdom Hearts 2, Spider-Man, and Wind Waker for me. One of those three would be the ones that gets up here. So let's review those three against each other.
Spider-Man would have been going against Wind Waker.
I would drop Spider-Man for Wind Waker.
So then Wind Waker versus Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh, that's hard for me. That's really hard for me. So I'm going to say it, and I hate to say this.
I know what you're going to say.
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yep.
that hurts me physically. It sure does, because I freaking love Wind Waker. But I think about the last half of Wind Waker.
And you're like,
But I think about the first half of Kingdom Hearts 2.
What, the Roxas section?
Yes, the Roxas section.
What are you complaining about?
It's just long.
It's not bad.
It's really long.
It's not bad.
But the Wind Waker part, that middle part of Wind Waker is really frustrating. And I would rather deal with something that's just long versus just frustrating and drawn out for no reason other than the fact that it just tries to fill the game time. Because at least things are happening during Kingdom Hearts 2. So I will give that there. So we have Kingdom Hearts 2 at the top left.
Okay.
Bottom right, we've got probably...
Chrono Trigger.
Are you for real?
No, I'm kidding.
I was like, this comes to Ocarina of Time versus Baldur's Gate 3.
Which is what happened on here.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, if I sacrificed Ultimate for Baldur's Gate 3, then doesn't Baldur's Gate 3 beat Ocarina of Time? I don't know. I've played Ocarina of Time like legitimately 5 times.
Oh, Baldur's Gate beats Ocarina easy for me.
And I think that if somebody was like, do you want to play Baldur's Gate right now, or do you want to play Ocarina of Time? I would say, hand me Ocarina of Time.
I would say hand me Baldur's Gate.
And I'm going to be completely real. It's probably nostalgia. I can admit when something is probably nostalgia.
Honestly, probably one of the reasons why I'm able to look at it so differently is because we played it on the channel not too long ago.
Yeah.
So it's still...
We played Baldur's Gate more recently.
I love that game. It was fun. We had such a great time playing
I was screaming in every episode.
And it was fun.
Oh my gosh.
We loved it. Ocarina of Time stressed me out.
It did at the end. Did it like stress you out?
Not like...
Because I was having so much fun. I wasn't even playing. You had the controller.
See, I was playing.
Well, there were times where I wanted to play. I mean, most of the game I wanted to play. But I'm going to be honest. Once you got to like the well section on, I didn't care. I was like, I'm glad I don't have the controller.
Yeah. No, because see...
You had to do the Shadow Temple, which sucks. You had to do the well section, which is okay. But then you had... Oh, gosh. Then you had to do...
Yeah, you're getting there.
What's that? Why am I stuck? The freaking Gerudo! Freaking Gerudo. I don't know why am I like this. Why am I like this? Anyway, no, that part sucks.
Yeah.
That part super sucks.
No, I agree. Ocarina of Time...
But listen!
Is so good up until a point, and then it becomes...
I don't know. I mean, Baldur's Gate has sections like that too, though. I've done 3 playthroughs of Baldur's Gate. I've never finished any of them. I think that kind of says something. I've finished 3 runs of Ocarina of Time on my own. I've watched you play all the way through one, and I've gotten at least 1 or 2 other save files in Ocarina of Time that I've played through. I've never finished Baldur's Gate.
That's crazy.
And I tend to stop caring, or like to stop playing, through the Shadowlands.
That's fair.
I hate that part.
I
hate that part so much.
I will say...
And the stupid blue guy. With the X on his face. Mortimer. I don't remember his name. He floats around. He's like, I have the...
Balthazar.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, got it. No, honestly, the Temple of Shar, that used to be where I was like, no.
I hate the temple. Oh, God.
The thing is, you don't know how to just not do it. Because there's a way to just not do it. You can use knock on the door at the bottom, so you don't have to collect any of the orbs, which means you don't have to do the trials.
That's stupid.
It's amazing.
Well, that's good for RPG, for roleplay, I guess. For the fact that it's an RPG, you can just interact with the environment enough to not do other stuff. And that's fair to an extent, but oh my God.
Because I did stop at that point with my Tazaz playthrough.
That's his D&D character.
That's my D&D character in our campaign. I got there and I stopped because I was like, oh, I don't want to do this. Then me and Mackenzie did the hardcore honor mode run, and we got there and I was like...
Which is bonkers, by the way. This idiot played honor mode with someone else over and over again. How many plays did you guys have of honor mode?
5.
Or if you die, you have to start the whole game over?
I think it took us 5 runs.
That's crazy.
One of those...
How many hours? How many hours did you spend doing the honor mode? You had to play through the same sections over and over again.
I think we said it was like 70-something hours.
Holy crap.
To beat it.
Actually, it's about the length of like a first time playthrough.
Yeah.
So.
But okay, it took us 5 because one of the times we got
glitched. Yeah, that sucks.
So it stuck us.
You know what?
I love that game.
I like Baldur's Gate 3. I really like Ocarina of Time. There's frustrating moments in both of them. I'm going to put a pin in that.
Okay.
I'm going to put a pin in that.
Between Ocarina of Time and Smash Bros, which would you have picked?
Smash Bros? It's not fair! They're completely different games!
I was just checking. I'm
going to let that stew. I'm going to let that stew for a few minutes, okay? We're going to go to the other side where we've got freaking...
Oh, I don't even know.
I don't care. Arkham City.
Minecraft.
Arkham City and Breath of the Wild get to the end.
Oh.
In my opinion.
Breath of the Wild definitely would have made it to the end.
And then Breath of the Wild at the end for me, right? For you too?
Persona versus Breath of the Wild? Ooh.
Oh. How do you feel about Breath of the Wild versus Persona 5?
I think Breath of the Wild probably still wins.
It does for me.
I think it's probably still... Yeah. So it would Breath of the Wild and Minecraft.
Oh, crap. Now I'm considering how much I like Breath of the Wild.
I loved Breath of the Wild.
I think I would put Breath of the Wild over Baldur's Gate. I think if you asked me Baldur's Gate, Breath of the Wild over Ocarina of Time, Breath of the Wild. And then I think if you put Breath of the Wild against Smash Bros, I might still say Breath of the Wild. And I'm not saying this because, it's Zelda. I want Zelda to win. I'm literally not being... No. I'm trying to be completely unbiased here.
Breath of the Wild was so good.
Breath of the Wild was so good. But here's the problem, is that I did have... I was going to say, I have some negative opinions about Breath of the Wild, but honestly, they're not legitimately negative. It's just, I wish there was more, which is so weird for me to think. Like, I wish there was more Breath of the Wild, because Breath of the Wild was huge, and we got Tears of the Kingdom, which is basically more Breath of the Wild. But
I would say, no.
I'm not counting Tears of the Kingdom. I'm not trying to include that. I'm also not including the DLC, because we did get DLC for Breath of the Wild. Yeah. I'm not going to count that either. Just surface level.
It's part of the game.
Breath of the Wild. Okay, that's fine. But either way, surface level Breath of the Wild, it was so engrossing when it came out.
Here's the thing. Would I pick the game up again and play through it? No.
Really?
I mean, I've played through the game twice.
Really?
Yeah. Because I played through it once, lost all my save data, so I played through it again. It was still fun the second time.
Uh-huh.
It was not as fun as the first time.
But the thing we complained about both Baldur's Gate, Ocarina of Time, and Wind Waker earlier, is that there's frustrating parts in the game. I can confidently say that there is nothing legitimately frustrating to me in Breath of the Wild. Because most of it you can just skip if you don't want to do it. There's basically nothing required. Except for getting the Master Sword, basically. And again, that's not required. But, you should get the Master Sword to really experience the game.
Yeah, okay. But think about... Hold on. You say that. But think about if you were playing that game.
Uh-huh.
You have to get the Master Sword.
Okay.
You have to do the Divine Beast.
I forgot about the Divine Beasts. And literally, the only one that is frustrating is the camel.
The camel is frustrating.
Von and Boris, is that right?
I think so.
Frick the camel.
The camel is aggravating.
But that's a very short segment compared to,
Also, you have to do the Yonobu trekking up to the Divine Beast, and that's annoying.
That's not that bad. That's not that bad.
We have to lock him into a can and shoot him. It's pretty annoying.
Is that not Tears of the Kingdom?
Nope, that's Breath of the Wild.
Because you have to basically do the same thing against those freaking lava lizards in Tears of the Kingdom. Trying to get into the temple.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Because I just don't remember that part. But if I don't remember it, it's probably because it wasn't that bad. Because if it was that bad, it would stick out to me.
Because I remember doing that on my second playthrough and being like...
I'm going to say Age of Calamity, the Hyrule Warriors game, had something like that, which super sucked. I hated that. Because that sticks out to me. But I don't remember it being a problem in Breath of the Wild.
It wasn't fun.
It was, we could have different experiences with it.
Sure.
Either way, I think no matter what, we're like Breath of the Wild wins that.
Yeah, I think Breath of the Wild wins.
Okay, that's fine. Who do we have on the bottom here? Is it Skyrim? Yeah. It just moves on by itself. There's nothing I can see that competes enough. Except for, so you've got Elden Ring up there, which I think you might...
So Elden Ring up top would... Yeah. I would have Elden Ring. And then, dude, I love Xenoblade.
Oh.
I don't care for Skyrim.
I forgot. Yeah, you did play Skyrim for like 60 hours.
Yeah, I played for a decent amount.
Yeah, you played for a while.
I don't care for it. So mine would be Elden Ring versus Xenoblade.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure Xenoblade wins.
Are you for real?
I love that series.
Okay, but it's not the series.
I know. I love that game.
It's Xenoblade 1 for the Wii.
Yeah.
Or the Switch, whichever version you want to play.
Okay,
I guess. It's the same game.
Yeah. Yeah. That game's amazing.
I would be quicker to pick up Elden Ring than I would try Xenoblade again. Because like I said, I've still never played Elden Ring.
I love Elden Ring.
I would be more likely to play that than I would
I'm playing through it again. It's great.
Yeah.
I love it. But
man, this looks weird right now. Kingdom Hearts 2, Baldur's Gate 3. I'm just gonna move it on past Ocarina.
Okay.
I'm gonna do Baldur's Gate 3, Kingdom Hearts 2, Breath of the Wild, and Elden Ring?
if you want to come to like a consensus, then yes, it would be Elden Ring.
That's fine.
Okay.
Wow, this is weird. This is not what I expected it to really look like here at the end.
Breath of the Wild beats Elden Ring.
Does it really?
You would say that, right?
I would say that.
Yeah.
But again, I haven't played Elden Ring.
That's true.
But it's because it doesn't really look that appealing to me.
That's crazy.
Because I have it. I own the... Or no, I got rid of it. I had the game for a very, very long time. Literally never opened it. And gave it away. I was just uninterested. Unfortunately. It looks cool. I gotta be honest. It looks cool, but I don't think I can spend time with it.
I'm trying real hard on that one because I think Breath of the Wild is the one that moves on. But I kind of hate to say that, but I think it's true.
Sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes you hate to make a decision, but it's right.
Yeah.
So Kingdom Hearts 2 versus Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate.
That was easy for you.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be for me too. I said I played Kingdom Hearts 2. It's fine. It's a good game. It was really hard for me to choose it over Wind Waker. But that's just how the boat sails.
Yeah. So then
That's how the ball falls.
Baldur's Gate versus Breath of the Wild.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm telling you, I would pick Baldur's Gate.
Okay, but you have so much recency bias. You've literally spent
That's true.
hours upon hundreds of hours with
but-
Baldur's Gate 3. But I mean, that also...
Keep in mind,
that
a lot of that
speaks
was
to
pain and suffering.
That's crazy. This is hard for me.
That's fair.
I like Baldur's Gate 3. I've already been honest about it. I had a single player playthrough that was okay.
I will say.
I have had a playthrough with my fiance, and it was a pretty good time. Didn't finish it, like I said, but I played a good bit. And then I played the one with you here on the channel.
Yeah.
And like
And we had fun.
all of them have been a relatively good time. I take that back. I hated my single player playthrough.
Yeah. Ascalon was not doing it.
Yeah. No. When DMs check your build at the beginning of a game, you should listen to them. That session 0 is very important. You test a combat round, and if it doesn't work out for you, just make a new character. I should have learned.
Yeah.
I should have learned.
I will say that the honor mode was with someone else, so that would have made it easier because it wasn't just me doing it. So it was a multiplayer experience, which also gives some leeway to it being a better game because you get to play it with other people, which is nice. Just the option's nice, you know. But even as a single player experience by itself, it's really solid.
It is a good game. I am actually
If you say Breath of the Wild, I would not say you're wrong.
I'm like actually stuck because I'm surprised by Breath of the Wild being here. I'm not surprised by Baldur's. I will be honest. I'm not surprised by Baldur's Gate being here. I am surprised by Breath of the Wild being here. I have played both games. I have spent actually a similar amount of time total, I would say, with both of them. Between my original playthrough, the one with Jordan, and the one with you, I'm hovering around like 80 hours. Breath of the Wild, I'm at like 110. So that's 30. It's a 30-hour difference, which sounds like a lot. I mean, it is, but like At the same time, Breath of the Wild is just a gigantic open world experience with like infinite things to do. But then again, Baldur's Gate basically has like infinite things to do because you can play it over and over again, different modes, different builds, different classes, different outcomes, different stories, different, there's so much to experience.
I will say there is more to do in Breath of the Wild than there is in Baldur's Gate.
That's wild.
Is it?
I'm not even sure that I'm.
Hold on.
I'm not going to argue against you, but I'm not going to argue for that because I don't believe that to be true necessarily.
There are 120 shrines in Breath of the Wild. 999.
Don't count the Korok seeds.
Fine.
So I don't count that. That's not a thing to do. That's a way to waste time if you want.
Okay. Because I was counting that. I was saying finding all the Koroks, that's massive. That's a lot to do.
It has absolutely zero impact on your actual gameplay besides the time.
Mm-hmm. It does have an impact on your gameplay because it increases your storage.
Which at a certain point becomes obsolete.
At a certain point,
I think if you're trying to collect all of them, you're only doing it to suffer.
But there's a certain amount that you should not. I mean, I guess some people don't need to, but there's a certain amount that makes the game better because you aren't just running out of weapons every 5 seconds. So you kind of, quote unquote, have to. You gotta
have a decent amount of storage, that's for sure. Man, I genuinely don't want. I'm not trying to like say, oh, I just gotta find some kind of way to beat Baldur's Gate because I'm also like, I don't really want to give the win to Breath of the Wild either. I don't really want either of these like very modern games. Breath of the Wild is like 7 years old. Yep. Breath of the Wild is like 7 years old. So it's almost what people consider retro. I think once you hit a decade, people start to.
That's insane.
I know.
hate that.
I hate it too.
I hate that so much.
I hate it too. I'm gonna be honest. That's a whole other conversation as well. Look at that. We found some podcast ideas.
We sure did.
But so Breath of the Wild's getting older, and so are we. But Baldur's Gate is just very new, and I just haven't made that connection with it for me to say this is the best game ever.
Mm-hmm.
I also have not made that connection with Breath of the Wild to say this is the best game ever. When I played it, I'm going to be completely honest. When I did play Breath of the Wild for the first time, I was like, this is the best game ever.
Yes. Yeah.
When I played Baldur's Gate for the first time, I was like, this game is all right. If I'm going off of like first instincts, first impressions, and heck, even if I want to like retcon my very first experience with Baldur's Gate, since I played it on a PC that was struggling to run it, and I just want to say like, I did that multiplayer run that I started doing afterwards. I enjoyed my character build a lot more. I enjoyed the game as a whole a lot more. But I was still like, it's okay. I'm having a good time. Like a 7 or an 8.
Okay.
Upon impression. I'll say it's an 8 upon like impressions for it. Breath of the Wild is the first time I picked up a game and was like, I think this is a 10. Like off the bat.
And that's
in hindsight, not a 10.
Yeah.
And
I
hindsight,
agree with
other
you.
games I would rate higher. Like possibly Arkham City. Like I've been sitting here like, how did Arkham City lose so fast? Just because that game is almost a 10 for me. It's incredible.
But I'm agreeing with you. When I first played Breath of the Wild, I was like, this game is one of the best games I've ever played.
And I can feel that. I can appreciate that for Baldur's Gate 3 as well. This is why I'm so stuck. I don't know if I can end this episode with a definitive answer. Because I feel like we have to for the sake of like making this.
I'm doing it just so it has an ending.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it could just be out to the viewers to decide, the listeners. You guys aren't viewing anything unless you're looking at this picture. But
no, we've probably made like 90% of them very angry with our list.
Yeah, that's fine.
So they want to hear an answer, so they can determine whether they need to be even more
mad. If you're
mad.
still listening at this point, when I've been debating Breath of the Wild versus Baldur's Gate 3 for probably 20 minutes, then I'm surprised you're still here.
Thanks for listening.
But if you are still here, thank you so much for listening, and tell us what your favorite game is below. But not only your favorite game, what's the game on this list that you would put at the top? Because I am genuinely struggling. Zach, I'm going to ask you straight up, gun to the head.
Oh, God. He just pulled out a real gun. I am terrified.
What is...
He did not pull out a real gun, by the way. I want to make that very clear.
Don't worry about it. I could have. I was going to put in sound effects.
Oh. I just want people to not be worried.
The video's out. We probably made more videos after this.
I know, but
every video that comes out afterwards I've recorded all of them beforehand, so you guys think that Zach is still alive after this.
I just wouldn't want people thinking that you just start brandishing a gun.
Nah.
Because that'd be wild.
No, I'm more likely to wield this sword that's behind me.
That's true. He does have a sword.
Literally right behind me.
Yeah, it's Trunks' sword. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. Oh, we should put that in a video sometime. Anyway, Baldur's Gate 3 or Breath of the Wild, Zach?
I said it.
Say it.
Baldur's Gate 3.
There you go, folks. You heard it here. Breath of the Gate 3 is the best game in the world. Thank you for so much listening. We'll have another video podcast. Not a video podcast. A video podcast, maybe.
Podcast, maybe.
We'll have more podcasts.
Yeah, more podcasts.
I've been really wanting to get back into doing podcasts. And we're gonna have more videos. PurpleCoin Plus is doing series again. Mm-hmm. PurpleCoin Entertainment has a video coming out soon that I'm so excited about. If only it works out the way I want it to. Either way, I'm excited. And then more content on PurpleCoin Entertainment, including podcasts. So if you're listening to this on Spotify, go check us out on youtube.com/PurpleCoin Entertainment. I think that's correct. Or you can just go to youtube.com and look up PurpleCoin Entertainment.
And PurpleCoin Plus.
PurpleCoin Plus. That's our game channel. Links in the comment, or not in the comments. Links in the descriptions if you guys want to find that stuff on YouTube if you're there. And thank you again for listening. I'm not going to say anything else for the rest of this episode. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time.
Goodbye.